I wanted to start off by saying that I feel so grateful and blessed to be a part of this retreat. The way that Kimberly and I met was quite magical. Our connection is, we found out that we went to the same graduate school, and so we have this commonality, but then we both have, explored different avenues in our lives and have grown in different ways. So we have all these other options to add to this base that we have of movement. That movement is such a powerful tool for creativity, for healing, for expression, for connecting with yourself. And so it's just been, I just feel so blessed to have met Kimberly. And we just connect in ways that amaze us both all the time. We're always like almost finishing each other's sentence. And I think that connection will just really flow through the retreat as a part of what you'll receive. So
yes, absolutely. And it's such a joy when you can work together and collaborate and feel this sense of flow like you're talking about. But I also feel like we're getting to experience what the whole retreat is about, which is about following our intuition and trusting those gut instincts. And I was led to one of the summits that Gregg has hosted that, many people attended. And I just had this hunch. Something told me, reach out to Gregg after the summit and say hi and tell him you'd like to do something together. And so it's that willingness to really listen to our hunches and trust our intuition and know we're supported to really live the path of our life that's going to bring us the most joy. And so that's something that we'll be tuning into as we offer our dance workshops or play shops, we call them, and different energy tools that we can use to prepare ourselves just to feel open and radiant. And so we're going to offer a little meditation here to give a taste of what some experiential exercises might be like on the retreat and ways that we'll collaborate together in these creative ways. And the goal really is just to support you in whatever place you are in your life. If you feel like you'd like to move forward in a certain direction that maybe you've felt stuck in, haven't quite moved and taken that step in a new direction, or if you want to really create a creative spark for yourself. So being able to have an opportunity where you can get away from the noise of the world and give yourself some self-care and nourishment and really listen to that inner wisdom. And then the other piece, Gregg, you didn't mention that I know is really sacred to both of us, is learning from Indigenous teachers who have shared their wisdom over time, and just the gratitude I feel for what you bring in that area and from what you've shared and what I've learned from the teachers I've studied with in many of indigenous cultures. Hawaiian, it is going to be in Hawaii, our retreat, but also in the West African culture, where I traveled to study dance, and Native American culture, where I studied with teachers. And all of these indigenous cultures hold nature to be this a primary connection as a human being that we need to understand is sacred, that we're all connected in this web together. And nature is such a powerful way to feel this interconnection with all things. So that's why we decided we were going to lead a retreat that really is based on the elements. Very simply, focus on how can we play with the elements, feel the elements in our bodies, use the forces of nature as a way of discovering ourselves and our truth, and how we can then express our gifts in the world. So Gregg has some some really amazing ways that he's going to help us with the exercises he leads with breath work and shamanic journeys. And I'm going to be leading some of our dance movement explorations as well. We both will be working together on how do we dance these elements and feel those forces of nature within. And then where does that lead us? The whole fun thing about these play shops is kind of going in with curiosity. And it's not just, we're not just offering classes to learn something. We're going to be creating a container where we'll feel safe to really explore our creativity and be open to discovering things in the midst of the nature that we'll be immersed in. So it's pretty cool. Did you want to say anything else, Gregg, or do you think we should
Yeah, no, I was just going to say what I said, I think at our last time, is that it's my belief from especially my experiences with Native American and South American indigenous cultures, is that we all arrive on this planet with a set of unique gifts. It's like we're all each a ray of the sun, and the way that spirit moves through each of us is completely different because of what we have as our unique gifts and qualities. And so we want to support you in discovering, bringing light to them and expressing them, and see how that changes your life and creates more radiance and joy and love in your relationships and in your health and all that. So that's what I wanted to say. It's one of the many reasons I continue to go to Ecuador to learn more deeply these ancient wisdoms. And so we'll both interweave them into the yoga that we'll do, into the meditations that we'll do, into the movement that we'll do, and breath work, shamanic journeys. And we'll talk a little bit more about that after we do this meditation. Okay.
Sounds great. And that is our background that we share was a body mind therapy approach. And so everything that we do is acknowledging how our emotions and our body and our thoughts and our spirituality all alchemize together. They're all influence one another. And so the intention for this little bit of our meeting is just to have an experience of what it might be like to do a meditation that's based on the elements. And I just want you to feel free as well, if as we're in this exercise, if you feel like moving, you don't have to sit still, you can do whatever, listen to your body if your body wants to move. But I'm gonna lead us in tuning into the earth element, and because it can be a very good place to start, feeling grounded, landing in our bodies, and then the air element. And then Gregg will lead us into the fire element. So just feel free to get comfortable wherever you are. Of course, if you're driving, please just keep driving. And if you're in a safe place to close your eyes, you might like to close your eyes. And we'll just begin with having gratitude for the earth that supports us. And just if it helps you as well, to begin to feel the seat underneath you if you're sitting, or your feet on the floor, and coming with this sense of the planet Earth, and that grows all of the food that we eat, that nurtures us, that has this power of creation. And then feeling this gratitude within ourselves, in our own bodies, that our own physical body does the very same for us, that there's the power of creation within our bodies, and there's all of the organs that sustain our lives on a daily basis that we rarely think of. So just taking this moment to acknowledge this element of earth and creativity, sustaining and nurturing life, and taking a moment to appreciate yourself for pausing and being willing to explore this and know that there's so much transformation can happen when we tune into our natural selves, into our bodies. So feeling your bones, the bones are like the rocks of the body of the earth. Our bones, our skeleton forms the structure that holds our form together. So you can, again, just start to notice your spine and your bones that hold this amazing structure of your physical form. And if you'd like to extend your spine a little bit so that you're feeling a posture that will help hold a container for the meditation. You might even imagine like there's a string at the top of your head that gently pulls the top of your head towards the sky. And the spine can just align. And taking a deep breath. Just coming home to the body. And then finally, for our earth element, you could imagine as if there are roots growing down from the bottom of your feet, down into the ground. Just as a tree is rooted into our earth, we too can feel this magnetic pull of the earth. So using your imagination, noticing what it might feel like if you had these roots going down from the bottom of your feet, from your sits bones, going all the way down and anchoring into the center of the earth. And then with this stability, oftentimes we can feel more calm when we're feeling stable and grounded. It's something we can do at any point during the day. And it's a good place where we can invite the air element in with our breath. And so our breath is just like the winds of the earth. That the breath is such an intimate way that we communicate with the earth. We take in the air around us and we exhale from our bodies into the air. And we're in this mutual, reciprocal, chemical exchange with our environment all the time. So here, just noticing the air as it comes in through your nostrils. And you might like to just exhale out of your mouth. And we're just going to take a little time here of discovery. The quality of air brings spaciousness. And if you imagine birds that fly high, they have a vast view, a vast perspective in the air. And so when we bring in the quality of air, we're inviting this attitude of discovery. So just if you notice in your body right now, if there are any areas that you'd like to bring some more breath to. With this awareness of the air, just notice if there's a place, it might be in your belly. You might like to bring a little bit more breath, or it could be in the back of your neck, or any place that you might feel a little tension. With the power of your awareness and focus, invite that quality of breath and air to create a little more spaciousness in the body. So just breathing in a little more deeply through the nose and allowing the air to reach these parts. You might even imagine that each cell of the body can expand a bit more with your in-breath, allowing more prana or life energy, oxygen in. You could even imagine it as the cells as little balloons that expand out a little bit more, taking in this life force. And as you exhale, just releasing anything that's no longer needed. And so from this place of expandedness and spaciousness in the body, Gregg can lead us into the element of fire.
Thank you. And so, yes, just as you're feeling this expansion in your body, I invite you to continue to connect with your belly and your breath. Kimberly was saying how with your exhale, you can expel what is no longer needed. And also the element of fire gives us that wonderful ability to do that as well. So we can ground as we breathe into our belly, let go as we exhale, and connect to that space between your navel and your spine. And just imagine a little flame behind your navel. And as you connect with that flame, with your mind's eye and your breath, with each breath, just allow that flame to grow a little bigger. So as you inhale, allow that flame to grow bigger. And as you exhale, allow it to just radiate out a little bit. Feeling that warmth, feeling that light. With each breath, allowing that flame to grow up into your upper abdomen, into your rib cage. Allowing any discomfort to be subsumed by the flame. Any pain. Allowing that flame with each breath to grow up into your heart. And expand as you exhale, creating more light in your body. And allow that flame to grow up through your throat, up into your head. So we have the flame coming from our navel all the way up into our head. And as that flame reaches our head, it starts to develop into a light. And every negative thought or worry or concern just gets subsumed in the flame. And as that flame reaches that midbrain, that center of your head, just allow it to expand into every cell of your body as light. To your head, to your crown, down your shoulders, into your arms, into your fingertips. Allow that light to expand down into your pelvis, down your legs, into your feet and your toes. With each breath, just allow that light to expand. I invite you to just repeat after me, silently. There's a light within me that lights the whole world. He radiates love, compassion, truth, and creative expression. There's a light within me that lights up the whole world. It radiates love, compassion, truth, and creative expression. Take a deep breath in your belly. Exhale and say it one more time. There is a light within me that radiates love, compassion, truth, and creative expression. Just allow yourself to feel how that radiates, how that flame, that light within you radiates out. And as you take a couple of nice deep breaths in your belly, as you gently lower your head and gently begin to open your eyes. And notice any shifts that you feel. Welcome, Patricia. Notice any shifts that you feel and allow yourself to be in this light from now through the rest of your day or evening, wherever you are. So, thank you. So this is just a little bit of the experiences that we're going to lead you in each day. Playing with the elements, allowing them to come through our yoga, to come through our meditation, to move with them, to breathe with them, to experience nature with them, to relate to each other with them, and to create with them. So
I think too, Greg, it'll be such a fun part to be in a sanctuary kind of experience where we can get into these expanded states or these inspired states and then have the spaciousness to journal or write or, you know, hear the lyrics to that song we've been wanting to write, or in this very nurturing environment where we'll get to follow through on the impulse, on the creative impulses we might hear in a retreat. So it's such a unique opportunity that we'll all get to. No, go ahead.
And that helps us integrate these experiences and take them into our daily lives. I think that what's so wonderful about the practices that we're going to be sharing with you is integration is so important, because if we just have experiences, we just kind of get addicted to those. But when we integrate these expansive creative experiences that we discover about ourselves into our daily lives, that's where the magic happens, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, so in our play shops, we'll be teaching some energy tools and I love teaching some practical things that we can use just to set the tone of the day.
Yeah.
And as we know, though, we develop habits by repetition. So having that routine of doing yoga each morning during our retreat can really start to set a pattern for ourselves to spend a little time in the morning, even if it's 5 minutes, to focus on, oh, that's right, there's some energy tools I can get myself to be ready for the day and to have create positive intentions for my relationships that day, or little energetic tools to have healthy boundaries. So we'll be doing all these sort of, not just playing with the physical form, but the our energy body. And then, of course, leaving space for the emotional body as we move through dance. So we were both trained in dance movement therapy. So really using movement as a way of expression and allowing ourselves to experience our full selves. Did you want to add anything to that, Greg?
Well, and then I'll be leading a breathwork session where, in same lines with the movement, is a wonderful way to release and express unconscious things, and also connect with spirit. So it's a beautiful way of expression and releasing, but also then experiencing that expanded state, which then will give you ways to integrate that into your daily life. I learned from Gay and Katie Hendricks way back in the 80s, breath work, and studied with Stanislav Grof as well with holotropic work. And so it's been a major part of my life. And then I guess I'll just share really briefly, we'll be taking you on a shamanic journey as well to connect with your future self, and then using movement and journaling to integrate that experience. And it's a beautiful way to connect to that creative part of yourself, that dream state, that state that's not in your, ever churning mind, to really connect with parts of yourself that maybe you don't, listen to, or that you haven't discovered yet. It'll be a beautiful experience of all of these, Kimberly's wonderful, intuitive and connecting with your divine support team. These are all like tools that we have developed in our lives, and then also in our practices, that take what we learned way back when further and into the realm of spirituality. So I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, I love what you said, Gregg, about hearing those parts of ourselves, being open to listening and hearing, and then from that place, we can expand out to what we're tuning into. So I'll also offer ways of tuning into our clair superpowers, so which we all have. They're just our natural abilities to tune in to our senses and to receive information from the unseen world as well, things we don't see. And that has been a tremendous gift that I've been exploring, that we all have. So for those interested, we'll have an opportunity to, I'll lead some meditations in how to support your own development of your intuitive skills and meeting your own divine support team, whether it's communicating with ancestors of the past, or angels or guides, whatever it's not a religious belief or spiritual, it's whatever we're feeling connected as a light being, an energy being in this world, and know that we're supported. It all comes back to that connection, that we're not alone. And that's something that I'm so excited about this retreat, is to have a community of people together who are so passionate about what is my creative gift in this world. I mean, it's very rare that we get to really spend some time together in a community like that, that's focused on such a beautiful, just a beautiful topic and a way of sharing with each other. So.
And we both look so forward to being supportive of you on your journey and your discovery. Yeah. And yeah, we're just both really thrilled to be a part of this. So
Yeah.
are there any questions that anybody has?
I think I will have a lot. Sorry, I think I will have many questions. And right now I'm just like, I kind of want to just bask in this space. I had this like thing during the meditation, and I had to stop and write it down. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I want more of that. But I'm like, how much of this can I handle every day? You know?
That's a great question, though. That's a really good question, because part of our intention, and too, being in Hawaii, there is so much support to pause and take things slowly. And being in nature, this isn't going to be a typical. It's not going to be a fast paced. It will be full, but it will also have lots of spaciousness to go be in nature and integrate and absorb the experiences. So I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that is one of the amazing things about being in Hawaii and doing a retreat
Mhm.
is having that that support of the environment and
Yeah.
taking the time and spaciousness to integrate it all.
And really connecting with
Okay.
that environment will hold you. You know, we'll give you tools to do that too, but we really want that beautiful place to hold you in your experience, and yeah, really allow you to absorb all of that environment as to integrate what you just experienced, so that you'll have time
Yeah.
to do that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So much of the we didn't do the water element, but a huge part of what we'll be talking, of course, we're surrounded by water in Hawaii, is the flow. And so the way we're designing this retreat is to be very much in the flow, and also noticing group, you know, what the group process is, and being flexible to really tune into what is the flow and the magic of this retreat. And so if it's, oh, let's all pause and lie down on the ground for 5 minutes to integrate, you know, we have this freedom to really listen to what we're needing in our creative process. And there'll be time as well with the group, and then individual time for you on your own to do whatever integration will be helpful. So
And I think Kimberly has a great point there, because I think we'll learn so much when we're together for the first time about the dynamics of what this particular group. And I think Kimberly and I have done this work so long that we'll be able to adapt what we're going to share, how long, see how everybody's doing it. We'll be checking in all the time. It's not something that's, you know, we do have a schedule, but it's not going to be in stone. It's going to flow with what everybody is experiencing, how we can best support everyone and the group as a whole. So
yeah, and for the schedule, on our landing page where there's all the information, there is a basic schedule lined out. And we also have our play shops that are some descriptions, so you can get a better idea of what to expect during the play shops that we'll share as well with everyone who has signed up today. And then any other logistical questions, there's more information about the lodging and all of the amenities and the things, you know, that are a part of the retreat that are included on the landing page. But if more questions arise, go ahead.
Where's the landing page? Or what, is that on a website?
Yes, so good question. We can put it, Greg, do you want to put it in our chat, or I'll put it in our chat as well?
okay, you can put it in the chat. And I know that Patricia, I was about ready to ask if you had a question, because I saw that you unmuted and now you've raised your hand. So,
yes, I do. We just had a storm here, and I don't have electricity, so I'm running on battery here. So that's why you can't see me.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for being here.
I've had arthritis for over 50 years, so I'm mobility challenged. Is there accommodations for that?
Is there accommodations at the retreat?
Correct.
Yes, I would assume so. That's a good question, but it doesn't seem like that everything is like all of the rooms that we'll be in are on the first level. And it seems like the main room just is like one step up, and of course we'll be able to help you with that. And I'm assuming that most hotels will have, because this is a resort, this is, you know.
You were giving implications that a lot of the stuff will be also being done outside in nature, and I find some places I can manage very well. I've never been to Hawaii, so I cannot, if there's places that are rocky, I'm going to have challenges. If there's places like the beach that is sandy, I'm going to have challenges.
Right. So we will,
Can I jump in here for a moment?
yeah, you go ahead.
That's such a great point that you bring up, because the play shops that we'll be doing for movement, there are actually beautiful yoga studios and movement studios that have views of the ocean, but are part of this eco boutique hotel that
Okay.
we will have
Hmm.
access to. So we'll be doing our a lot of the movement work and meditations as well in these rooms that have ocean views, but are also contained and safe places to move. And then for the nature parts, we will be going on, there are options to go on some hikes along the coastline, or some things to do out and about on the grounds. There are many trails to explore. So, but for our particular exercises, they'll be also indoors. It won't all be outside.
And I know that we may go on a hike, Patricia, but let me know. I was just in a journey to Ecuador, and one of the women was in a foot cast, and so we had options as far as going on a hike or just going on a walk. And I will be happy to hang out with you if the other people are deciding to go on something that doesn't feel safe for you. So, and we'll explore something. How's that? Does that work?
Sorry.
That sounds reasonable.
Okay, right. There'll be,
Basically, a lot of the time I'm able to, if it's slow paced, get around with a rollator. But
Yeah.
rollators don't do well on rocks. They don't do well in sand. That's why I brought that up.
right. Yeah. Well, we will do everything we can to make it a wonderful, experience for you that way.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna put that, I put the link in for our landing page, Melissa, if you're interested. And as well as we're including them in our emails that we're sending out. So that's another way to access that link. So are there any other questions at
great.
this time?
I don't think so. If I do have questions later, can I just hit reply to the email, or what's the best way to?
Either or.
Yeah.
How did you find us? Through my email or through Kimberly's?
It must have been Gregg's, because I think I've seen things from you before.
Okay. Yeah. So just respond to it, and I will do my best to. Well, I'll definitely respond to you. Yeah.
Yeah. On our
Okay.
landing page too, at the bottom, there's a place to, it asks you if you'd like more information about the retreat, and there's a comment box that you can put any specific questions you'd like answered, and that goes directly to us. So we'll reply to you directly with any of your specific questions as well.
Okay. Okay.
Well, if that's it, thank you so much for being here. We look forward to hosting you in Hawaii in November, and yeah, I just can't wait. So
Me too. Thank you, everyone.
It sounds great.
Yes, feel free to reach out if you have any other questions or things you're wondering about. And we're going to be doing these weekly, these Zoom meetings. And next time I'd love to focus on the element water, since we didn't have an opportunity to do that element today. So that'll be coming up in our next Zoom meeting.
all right.
Are the meetings like this to let people know about the report? What are they like? Can I just come to multiple
Sure.
intro sessions?
Yes, come to the water.
You can use this format to ask your questions as well. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, everybody.
Aloha.
Thank you. I'm so glad I made it. I was like, at the last second, I'm like vacuuming and cleaning, and I'm like, oh, I gotta get on this Zoom meeting. So I'm
So
really
nice
glad
to
that I
have
did.
you.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
Thank
waving
you,
a
guys.
thank you, but I don't think you can see me.
No, we can't see you, but we can hear
Oh.
you, Patricia. Patricia?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said I'm waving a thank you and goodbye, but
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
hopefully our
hope the
electricity comes
electricity
back
soon.
on soon.
All right.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Blessings.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Okay. Aloha.